but I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I got to actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill.
Last night, we were treated to a very exciting game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat, where we saw Miami take the W and a commanding 2-0 lead on the number 1 seed. While the ending was controversial and honestly, it was super trash considering how great of a game it was, Miami has the lead, and Milwaukee has some very big problems sitting in front of them. Out of the 421 playoff series in NBA history that have had a team go up 2-0, only 27 of them have come back from such a deficit. I'm going to go out and say it, which is something that many have said in the past years, and it's that Milwaukee is a regular season team, and I'm going to highlight why and why I don't believe the Bucks are making it out of the second round. Look, as much as I hate to say it, while Giannis is the regular season MVP, that's about it. He's a regular season MVP, emphasis on regular season. You have to think about this. Since last season, which is when I would say the Bucks were real threats in the Eastern Conference, Giannis has shrunk when playing against teams with elite defenders and great coaching. We saw it last year against Toronto, and we're seeing it again this year against Miami. Let's focus more on the Miami series though. In Game 1 specifically, we saw Giannis heavily struggle against Miami's game plan, only attempting 12 shots in the whole game for just 18 points. And while he did improve in Game 2 with 29 points and 14 rebounds, the fact is that he just hasn't looked like his dominant self like he does in the regular season. See, the thing is with Giannis's game is that it's built for the regular season. In the regular season, you don't play the same teams every night, meaning they don't have weeks and days in between games to make small adjustments when your game plan doesn't work. In the regular season, it's tough to try and prepare for a certain game when you have to, because there are so many games before it, and it's tough when you can't practice a certain game plan for a certain team days in advance. In the regular season, the pace is also much faster compared to the playoffs. How does this relate to Giannis? Well, you can see it with your very eyes. Giannis feeds on lack of game planning and increased pace during the regular season, which is why he looks so dominant. Don't get me wrong, he's still going to put up these numbers in the playoffs like he did in Game 2 and in the Orlando series, but it is so much harder for him to do so in the playoffs. In this Heat series, we've seen his number of transition buckets heavily reduced, resulting in a major drop-off in his points production and his overall field goal attempts per game. And this leads me to my next point. Giannis is supposed to be the superstar of the Bucks, right? He's supposed to be the one who creates for himself and others. So why is it that when he's not in transition, Giannis becomes one of the biggest black holes on offense when he has the ball? He's always looking to try and attempt to break Miami's wall defense, but he's usually unsuccessful at that given he has such a limited skill set. And because of his lack of effectiveness in the half court, he is delegated to becoming a screen setter when he doesn't have the ball, content with either rolling to the basket or popping out to the perimeter for whatever reason, which blows my mind because Giannis does not have a jumper at all, so what is he really doing on the perimeter? Never in my years of watching basketball have I seen a top 3 player in the league look more than satisfied with just setting screens and handing the ball off to shooters cutting off of him. Why is this happening? Well, like I said before, it's because of his skill set in the half-court offense, or should I say a lack of one. While his shot did improve this season, let's be real. Any team would dare Giannis to shoot the ball rather than let him drive the basket, so they sag off him playing Ben Simmons type of defense on him. He can't punish them because of his extremely poor shooting ability from the mid-range and the 3-point line, and his extremely poor shooting mechanics, which are downright ugly. Sure, you can get away with this in the regular season, but in a 7-game series? Nah. There's no chance. And I have to give Miami's defense and Erik Spoelstra a whole lot of credit. They have absolutely shut Giannis down and made it tough on him with what I would call their wall defense. Miami is daring Milwaukee's supporting cast to beat them by zoning in on Giannis and his driving lanes. Rarely in the half court have we seen Giannis in a straight up one-on-one matchup. It's usually his primary defender in front of him, whether it be Bam Adebayo, Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler, one of those guys, on top of 2 help defenders sagging deep into the paint, resulting in Giannis having to decide whether or not he wants to drive into 3 guys or pass it off. And when he's attempted to drive it in, he's either taken an extremely tough shot, He's either been stripped of the ball and turned it over, or he's been sent to the free throw line, which Miami will live with because while he's getting to the line over 12 times per game this series, he's only shooting 52% from there. I mean, did you see his game 1 shooting performance? 4 of 12 from the free throw line. That is Shaq type of numbers coming from him. I think the Miami Heat are more than happy to let him go there. And because of his limited bag in the half-court offense and his poor free throw shooting on top of that, can the Bucks really trust him at the end of games to get them a bucket? And by neutralizing Giannis in the half court, the Heat have absolutely cut off Milwaukee's lifeline when it comes to playmaking. Who else on the team can really make their own shot and for others? I mean, sure, Middleton can do it at times, but the rest? They're far from reliable, especially going up against Miami's great defense. And one more thing, Giannis, in the fourth quarter, I'ma need you to guard Jimmy Butler. I don't care if Budenholzer is telling you to guard someone else. You are the defensive player of the year. You have the athleticism and the length to be the best defender in the league and one of the best defenders of all time. Get on the opposing team's best player and shut him down. By shutting Jimmy down, you leave Dragic as the only creator for the Heat in crunch time, and you make it tough for Jimmy to get to the rim or get a shot off given that you're bigger, stronger, and more athletic than him. Again, I do not care if Budenholzer tells you to guard someone else. You are the MVP and the defensive player of the year. Demand you get on the opposing team's best player. And speaking of Budenholzer, you're next, buddy. I don't even know where to begin with you. First off, you are absolutely getting outcoached by Erik Spoelstra. Like, please, make some adjustments to both your game plan and rotation. One of the biggest issues I see with Milwaukee's defense is that they are allowing far too many three-pointers to one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league in Miami. It's almost as if they're daring Miami's best three-point shooters to hit wide-open shots. Look at the results of games 1 and 2. Over the past 2 games, Miami is averaging 14.5 threes per game and hitting them at a 38.1% clip. I get that you don't want to give up the inside, but know your personnel. Miami is a team filled with shooters like Duncan Robinson, Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, Jay Crowder, Kelly Olynyk, and even Jimmy Butler has been red hot in the playoffs. You can't play like this. You can't play a drop coverage on pick and rolls against Miami because both Dragic and Butler can hit these pull-up threes. You can't double the ball handler when he decides to drive on the pick and roll or attempt to ice him like you've been trying to do because he'll kick it out to the screener who more times than not is a capable shooter from the three-point line. Either you have your guy fight over the screen and hard hedge or completely switch the pick and roll because you have the personnel to switch against the Heat. Secondly, Budenholzer has to shorten his rotations and play his stars a lot more minutes. Giannis has barely played over 36 minutes a game this season. He needs to be playing anywhere near 42 minutes a game or more. Same with Chris Middleton. You are down 2-0. You need your stars to be on the court as much as possible. This isn't the regular season, so enough with the 10-man rotations. Cut it down to 8 and ride the hot hand coming off the bench. If this continues and Budenholzer continues to be stubborn and continue with the same game plan day in and day out, this will be the second time in the past 2 seasons where the Bucks have been the favorite, but they were outcoached in the playoffs. Last year by Nick Nurse, and this year so far by Erik Spoelstra. This isn't the 8th-seeded Orlando Magic you're playing. This is an extremely talented, deep, experienced, and well-coached Miami team that you're playing against. Step up and change your game plan. Thank you very much for watching this, I guess, rant video it became, and leave in the comments below if you think that Milwaukee's going to be able to come back from this 2-0 deficit. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications. We're going to upload every Monday and Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. But with all that being said, remember this. This isn't the first time Budenholzer has coached a 60-win team and got absolutely destroyed in the playoffs. Remember the 60-win Hawks? Yeah. He's kind of doing the same thing with the Bucks right now.